Okay, we have this Koa Taylor that the action is way too high. That neck's got to come off. We're going to reset that. And we have Matt's Gibson ES 339. That's good. I don't know if that camera is going to show it or not, but there is a major swoop in this neck. And as you've seen so often before in the videos, this is definitely going to need a fret dress at that neck junction. Sorry about the air conditioner. It's just way too hot here to turn that thing off, so we'll just have to put up with the noise of the air conditioning today. I really got to get onto these jobs and get them rolling. All right, I have shut off the air conditioner momentarily because I need you to see this. So this truss rod is basically cranked to the max. You wouldn't want to put any more load on that. And when I put this longer straight edge, you can see that we've got a high spot at the neck to body junction. How many times have you heard me say that? And this one really needs to be taken down. And it's all the way across. See, I can move that feeler gauge. So what that tells you is that this spot here needs to be dressed. We're going to dress that and then we're going to come back. So back to the silent movie again. I'm going to put that air conditioner back on. So once again, I've turned off that air conditioner. I'm going to bring you in to show you how much I had to square off those upper frets to make this a reality. So we have taken care of this portion of the fingerboard, but that's not the only issue. It's funny because it doesn't show up with this smaller one. It's just when I go to this larger one and I span 4 frets. Isn't that interesting? And that's why I put 6 straight edges in your fretting kits. Another good reason to take the nut out is because it allows us to go clean through from the first fret to the last. Again, I'm moving obliquely, kind of cross-hatching. So now that I've got that high spot and we've taken care of that neck to body junction, now and only now I will lightly go full length. Sort of cross-hatching. So this is a very unusual fret dress. Now we're going to use the 10-inch straight edge and kind of check the neck along its length and in sections. And there's our tooth thou. It does not go through. We got this thing, we got this neck straight as a laser. That tooth thou feeler gauge does not go under. Middle. And the top. Now I'm going to bring you in a second and I'll show you just how much we had to take off those top frets to get this whole thing to level out. Okay, I'm turning off that air conditioner for a couple of seconds here again because I want to explain what we're doing here. So what we've essentially done is we've leveled along the trajectory of the string path from fret crown to fret crown. So we're kind of taking that out of the real estate of the crown of the fret. Now, in a perfect world, you would pull the frets, load the truss rod, level the fingerboard, and re-fret. But because of the size of the Gibson frets, the height of the Gibson frets, it gives us enough to work with. Second reason I don't want to pull the frets is because we, of course, have the famous Gibson plastic nibs on the end of the frets. So up here, that fret is 48 thou. This one, there'll be different measurements. That's 44 thou. And this fret up here really took a hit. It's down to 40 thou. But that's still, that's still doable. So when we're all done, although the frets will all be different heights along the length of the fingerboard, the contact point from crown to crown to crown, from the first fret to the last, is laser straight. We have enough load on that truss rod that we can back it off for a little bit of relief. I think this guitar passed through a few hands because nobody really figured it out. We figured it out. Sorry, putting the air conditioner back on. We're going back to a silent movie. It's just scorching out there today. I think it's 40 with the Humidex. I'll bring you in close. We'll do kind of silent film on this one. Show you the recrowning. You can see how square those upper frets are. And we'll get on with the rest of the job. Well, everybody's heard the phrase, necessity is the mother of invention. I don't entirely agree with that statement because I believe that frugality is the real mother of invention. If you don't have endless funds, you figure out a way to do it. And most of the guitar techs that I know are quite frugal, myself included. So I just want to give you another tip. What I have here is a package of 100 320 discs, sanding discs, and another package. In fact, I bought 5 packages, $2 a package. So I got 500 discs for $10. How's that for frugality? So to take out all those tooling marks of the file, that's what I start with, 320 grit. And speaking of frugality, one of the recent TechDeck owners mentioned that he figures he saved about $12,000 in tools by just buying a TechDeck and a fretting kit. And he's probably not far off. Well, he saved $135,000 not using a fret dressing machine. In fact, we got a guy that owns a fret dressing machine, I think in New Jersey. He bought 3 TechDecks to do pre and post CNC. Think about that one. So here we go. Here's our 320 grit disc. It's interesting because I'll be able to actually rotate those to get kind of maximum use out of each piece. This is the scrub block that you guys have. So I just kind of wrap that 320 grit around there, and we're getting rid of all of the tooling marks of the file. Kind of rotate it. Oh, incidentally, this 320 grit paper, these discs, I just got them at the local restore because they're peel and stick. Nobody uses peel and stick discs anymore. I do. So 500 discs for 10 bucks? Yeah, try and beat that one. How's that for $2? So let's have a look at what I did with the 2-cent disc. So you can see all of those tooling marks of the file are gone. With my 2-cent 320 grit sanding disc. Gotta love it. By the way, I got a few boxes of the 600 grit sanding paper, also for next to nothing, at a different restore a few years ago. Still using them. Okay, so our 600 is taking out the tooling marks of the 320 grit. Kind of rotate that paper, get maximum use out of it. Like I'd mentioned in the previous video, check out your local wood shows. You'll always find some guy in the back corner with an auditorium table. Slight defect in the production, and you pick up rolls of this stuff. It'll last you a lifetime for next to nothing. Frugality is the mother of invention. I've shut off that air conditioner again because I want to show you where we're going with this. This pickup's pretty good. You can see along the trajectory of the neck, it's dead level. This one is kind of tilting a little bit. It just kind of bugs me. So we're going to load that cavity. I just wanted to show you that so you understand what I'm doing here. So what I've got here is a small block of peel and stick medium density foam. I'm going to put it in the bottom of that cavity and just kind of stick it to the neck side of the cavity and see how that works for us. Oh, that's much better. And that's all we needed. Yes, that's much better. When we tighten those screws down, it'll pull that dead level. So Matt is a good friend, long-time customer. I can't even begin to count the amount of guitars I've done for him over the years, but when I get customers like that, they allow me the freedom to just do my thing and do what needs to be done. That's what we're after. We'll put that a little bit long, so we'll get the thickness of the leg that is going in to that slot. We'll start with that. Okay, so that does give us a beautiful press fit. Very happy with that. So I radius the crown and the underside of that ledge, and now we need to take the height of that leg down to get that overhang to drop onto the roasted fingerboard. Okay, we got our original nut that we took out, nice and clean, and we're going to use that for our string spacing. Okay, I shut off the air conditioner again. I had to point this out, so another little sound bite here. You can see that the B string saddle is as far back as it goes, and we can't squeeze any more intonation out of it. That saddle needs to be taken out, flipped 180 and reinstalled. Same deal with the D. It's backed right up against the casting, can't go any further, needs to be pulled out, flipped 180, put in, and then the thickness of the actual saddle will give us that much more real estate to kind of play with to line this up. So this guitar would never, ever tune with the saddles where they were. So all of the values are cut now for this 11 to 49 at concert pitch, this ES 339 Gibson short scale. And now we can trim it back flush on either side and then smooth over this top and take out all that notching. Okay, so here is the wrap up on this 339. We'll start here at the posts. I did wrap those in Teflon tape to tighten up the machining. There was the D string and B string needed to be flipped around 180 because you'd never tune this guitar otherwise. I did pad that front pickup to sort of get it to level out better with the string path. I found that strap lock system in the case, so I'm assuming Matt wanted me to put that on. This is the 11 to 49 compensated nut at concert pitch. The actual truss rod had run out of adjustment, so I did add a couple of washers on the strike plate to buy back a few more threads of adjustment. And we got the lay of the neck and the action beautiful on this thing now. Of course, we did all that sort of tricky fret dressing on the bass side here, and then you saw up at the top how much we had to take off to get this thing to level out. But all in all, it turned out great, and we'll bring it in the house, plug it in, and let you hear it. I thought I was going to get to this Taylor today, but it wasn't to be. There were too many wild cards kind of thrown at me with that 339. But I will get back to this one, and I'll give you a play-by-play on this as well. Cheers. Hang tough.